There was a small town where the streets were lined with old oak trees and the wind moved slowly, like it was tired too. A place where silence had weight, where you could almost hear the sound of your own memories. In that town lived a man named Arthur Hale. People knew him, but no one really understood him. He did not talk much. His eyes carried a quiet kind of love. A love he once had. A love he lost. Arthur lived in an old wooden house. The floor creaked when he walked. The walls held pictures of years that had already passed. And inside a drawer of a small desk, there was a piece of paper. A letter. A letter that had never been mailed. Every night, Arthur would open the drawer and take that letter out. He did not read it. He did not unfold it. He simply placed his fingertips on its edges. Like someone touches an old scar, not to reopen it, but to remember it was once a wound. The name written on the envelope was Evelyn. Once, she was everything to him. His morning sunlight. His laughter. The warmth in his voice. But life is not a perfect storyteller. Sometimes love does not break with noise. Sometimes it fades in silence. Arthur and Evelyn did not fall apart because of betrayal or fights. There were no storms, no shouted words, no moments of fury, just silence. That quiet space where two hearts should speak. But they did not. One rainy night, Evelyn left. Arthur did not stop her. He did not call out her name. He stood still and watched the door close. Watched her footsteps fade into the sound of rain. When the house felt too large and too empty, Arthur walked into his room, sat at his desk, and began to write. Dear Evelyn, I am sorry. I was young. I thought love meant being strong and silent. I did not know love needed words too. He wrote through the whole night, not once wiping the tears that fell on the paper. In the morning, he folded the letter and placed it inside the drawer. And he never sent it. Time went on. The seasons changed. The town changed. People came and left. Faces faded and new ones appeared. But the letter remained. It stayed untouched, unsent, alive like something inside Arthur that never healed. In the corner of his living room, there was a rocking chair. Beside it, an old diary. And on the wall, a picture of Evelyn. Her smile in that picture was warm. The kind of smile that should have stayed, but did not. Arthur would sit in the rocking chair and look at the picture. You knew, did you not? I never wanted to hurt you. I just did not know how to love you the right way. And you tried. You kept trying. And I still stayed silent. Silence is a quiet knife. It hurts slowly, without sound, without blood. Arthur grew older. His hair turned white. His hands trembled when he reached for the drawer. His breath became heavy. But the letter was still there, alive with all the words he never said. Love that is not spoken does not disappear. It stays. It becomes memory. It becomes regret. It becomes the thing we carry for the rest of our life. This was only the beginning. Years passed. Arthur's hands had grown weak, and his steps had become slow. The world outside kept changing, but inside his heart, time stood still. The letter remained in the drawer, untouched, like a heartbeat that never learned to stop. One autumn evening, when the air was cold and the leaves were falling like memories from the sky, there was a knock on his door. Arthur's heart paused. The knock came again. He slowly walked to the door, his hand trembling as he held the knob. He opened it, and there she was, Evelyn. Her hair was streaked with grey now. Her eyes, once bright, carried the same tired sadness his did. For a long moment, they simply stood there, neither speaking. Time had not made strangers of them. It had made them mirrors. Evelyn was the one who spoke first. Arthur, I came back. Her voice was soft, as though afraid to disturb the silence they had shared for a lifetime. Arthur stepped aside. She entered. Nothing in the house had changed. The picture of her still hung on the wall. She looked at it. Her eyes filled with tears. "You kept it," she whispered. Arthur nodded. He could not find his voice. They sat across from each other. Two old souls, who had once been one. Evelyn took a deep breath. "I thought you did not love me," she said quietly. "You never said it. Not once. Not when I needed to hear it. Not when I was slipping away." Arthur's eyes burned. "I loved you so much," he finally whispered. "I just did not know how to say it." Evelyn closed her eyes. A tear rolled down her cheek. "That was all I ever wanted," she said. "Just the words. Just to hear it once." Silence wrapped around them. But this silence was different. This silence was full of everything they never said. Arthur stood slowly and went to the drawer. He opened it. His hands shook as he took out the letter. He walked back to her. "This was for you," he said. Evelyn looked at the letter, her eyes trembling. "You never sent it," she whispered. Arthur shook his head. "I was afraid it was too late." Evelyn took the letter in her hands. She held it like something fragile. She did not open it. She simply pressed it to her heart. Then she leaned her head gently on Arthur's shoulder. And for the first time in decades, he wrapped his arms around her. Two old hearts, still beating for each other. Too late, but still real. That night, Evelyn slept in the rocking chair beside him, holding the letter. When the morning sunlight entered the room, Arthur did not wake up. He had passed away with a peaceful expression. His hand was still holding hers. Evelyn did not cry loudly. She just sat there, tears falling softly, like rain that remembers. She opened the letter at last. Her hands shook as she read. "Evelyn, you were my only sunrise. I was a man of quiet walls, and you were a woman of open windows. I should have said I loved you. I should have held you. I should have learned to speak. Forgive me. If life ever brings you back to me someday, know this. I always loved you. Always." Evelyn closed her eyes. "I know," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I always knew." She kissed his forehead softly and placed the letter in his pocket so he could carry it with him to wherever love goes. When life lets go,